It's
If it were just the single player, I think it would probably fall into about the $10 range. But that multiplayer and like being able to talk with each other, like think through things, that's valuable experience. That's exactly what games should be doing, like as a whole. And actually, I'm going to talk about my overall game theory for a second too, if that's okay with you. Did you have more you wanted to say about Don't Starve?
I don't know. That's about the end of my thought process there.
Uh, all right, this is what I was going to do earlier, and I just was too lazy to actually do. Um, so I like to pull up their website when I do my analysis. I just totally spaced pulling it up before the show. Um, so what I think about games is first and foremost, if there's ever a point where the game becomes more important than the players, the game has missed its point. So like I play Magic, and a lot of people get into the game to the point where they're all about the cards and they're about the interactions, but you don't like you should never be playing Magic to play for the cards. You should be playing Magic to play for your friends, you know? And so like for that reason, going to pre-release events is my favorite Magic experience I've ever had. You know, because you go with a bunch of buddies and you stay up all night and it's stupid fun and you get to see the new cards and that's great, but really you get to spend time with other people who are playing the game. And so if it ever gets to a point to where you're like, you know, this is multiplayer game theory, I guess. For game theory, my overall game theory is that games are always teaching you. It's a learning experience, and learning has to both be enjoyable but also like produce something for you in the process. So you have to be able to take a minute and think about it and be like, okay, all right, well, I guess I did learn something about humanity, or I learned something about like, you know, all these different like potential things that like the important lessons you can draw out of a game, I guess. So a game needs to be either educating you in some way, or it needs to be drawing you closer to a community. And if it's not doing one of those two things, it's actually failing the main purpose of a game. Because that's why games were invented. That was the purpose of games, was to teach like strategy and thinking, right? And to teach interaction between people. And that's one reason I've actually had a hard time accepting the first person shooter as like the dominant genre, right? Because the first person shooter is just this huge big deal, and it has been ever since Halo came out, or probably
A
Unreal
little bit before
Tournament.
Halo.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament is probably the actual thing.
Yeah.
Just to credit the right source, but the idea still is the same, that it's about people interacting with each other. And as long as it is about the people interacting with each other, and not so much about like these crazy raid strats, or as long as you don't begin to lose like a relationship with other players, as long as you don't start to think of other players as computer players, then the game's still fine. But the issue that I take with first person shooters is that they often do devolve to like a, man, that guy, like not even that guy, like that, just so noob, very noob, yes, and I no scope headshot face. Taking all the prepositions out makes it much more demeaning. Okay, I'm running out of brain power, but I do want to talk one more second about Don't Starve. The reason Don't Starve, like even Don't Starve alone, has like these elements of discovery and learning and like adaptation, right? Which is integral to survival, and that's one reason Don't Starve is so incredible, is it's already in itself in like a single player version doing that. And then you have Don't Starve together, and all of a sudden you're taking all those elements and you're applying them to other people and you're working with other people. That's exactly what a game should be doing. On top of it, they've done a very good job with their graphics, with their music, like everything, like the controls have obviously been well play tested. I saw one bug for like half a second and it corrected itself, and that was when I was making a server. Like, this game's psycho incredible. Anyway, that